Good morning. I've heard a lot recently about there's no civics in most of our educational systems. People don't know how to read analytically. They can't discern whether they're reading the truth or not the truth. And they're not looking into what are the sources of the statements being made on social media. Where are the facts coming from? And are they facts? And certainly, nobody's reading the Constitution. It's such a simple, basic rule book to go by. Instead, we got high drama in Congress. And why is that? It's simple. They're playing politics. They're playing politics so that Congress can run out the clock on most legislation that Americans require to have the good life, so that in their hope of hopes, the Republican Party thinks Donald Trump will get in. Well, that's something I don't want to wait around for. We need the money for Ukraine and for Israel now. Congress has an immigration bill to sponsor. They should be sponsoring it. The Supreme Court threw Abbott's bills out of the running, said Abbott was all wrong. He cannot declare that he's being invaded by the Mexican government or any other government and put up barbed wire along the Rio Grande, nor can any other state. It's up to Congress to legislate immigration law. My friends who are Republicans said, well, Biden could be an imperial president and he could take the law into his own hands and he can just close the border. I don't know if that's true or not true, but I do know immigration reform is in Congress and it should be made. Instead, they're kicking that can along with the federal budget down the road to March. If I know this Republican Congress, as long as they stay in power, they're never going to pass either the budget, the funding for Ukraine, or the funding for Israel. So we got high drama on immigration when there should be no drama at all. Pass a bill. You can pass a bill on child safety on the internet. Well, then, by golly, since this is your hot button issue is immigration, pass it. And by the way, I've heard about the same illegal immigrants in this country about 2,500 times since the Bush administration. I've heard about the influx of 11 million immigrants. According to the Cato Institute, about 1.6 to 1.8 million illegal immigrants have made it through into the country. And where are they from? They're from all over. And some of them, very honestly, are not coming through the borders at all. They're coming by plane from India, from China, from Russia. So Abbott is just breaking the law. That's all he's doing. He's trying to bend the Constitution. But in terms of the Supreme Court, he's totally ignored it. We don't need lawlessness in this country. We need good legislation. We need good people in Congress who treat their jobs as professionally as you would if you were a waiter or you were a physician, or you were a healthcare provider of any sort. That's how congressional representatives should act. Not like this is a game of chess and we only want one party to win. It's not. And I truthfully don't like being their pawns. So I think Congress should get their act together, pass immigration reform, pass Ukraine funding reform, and pass Israeli funding reform. We need the money now, not after the elections, if that's their game. And when you think of things that we could be doing right, we could be doing healthcare right. The Minnesota project with South Korea happened in the 50s and 60s. Over time, South Korea has become one of the best healthcare providers in the world. We could duplicate their system. It costs normal South Koreans maybe $2,500 a year for healthcare. It's a single-payer system. They had an inefficient, ineffective system before the year 2000, when they had 350 insurance companies that they blended into one national healthcare system. And it works. Over 96% of the public in Korea is enrolled. 5% of their payroll taxes from the individual and from the employer goes into healthcare, along with taxation of tobacco. Well, we got tobacco taxes here. We should be doing sugar taxes here, or taxes on any substance that causes people to be unhealthy. And God knows we should be able to lower the cost of healthcare in this country with a single-payer system. Is it hard work to do? Sure, they'd have to sit down and actually think about how they're going to blend all the insurance companies in this country into a national single-payer system. But it's doable. Right now, healthcare in America costs us about $4.5 trillion. That's an incredible sum of money, especially when you think that it costs South Korea maybe about $2 billion for 50 million people. Not only that, over $13,400 per person is spent on healthcare here. $2,500 in South Korea. That, to me, is a win-win. So Congress could be doing a lot, and it could make our lives easy and get us out of high drama. It's about time. Thank you.